Push your screen. There you are.
Oh, we should start that over.
It's too late. It's already started.
No,
Start what over?
I don't know.
The recording? The live recording? I don't think you can. And I don't know. Is it showing on your page?
I don't know. Let it look.
I didn't put it on my page.
Why would we do that, baby?
Because it kept saying somebody's thing wasn't
So,
acting right.
so we're gonna come on here and have marital problems already.
So I didn't put it on
Trying to
here.
talk about how not to have marital problems.
Oh yeah, you're live.
I'm live, baby. I'm live. Everybody won't come because they don't like me. They think I'm a Trump supporter.
I have to. Let me see. I don't know if it's live on the other page. It should be. Cause I thought I put it on there, but I'm not sure I did. I thought it was live on something else. Is it live on your page?
Yep. This is our current vibe right now.
No, no,
Yeah.
it's live on the unfiltered page too. You hear me?
Yes.
So it's live on that page too. I can just share it.
Okay.
Because as usual, we've been having technical difficulties, so.
We come back with technical difficulties.
All the time.
Because we're technical, but we don't have.
We're like not being prepared.
Well, that too.
It seems like.
Are you trying to show people?
I'm trying to pull up my clock.
Oh, I was just trying to show people my goods. This ain't that type of stream. So, ladies and gentlemen, can they hear me? Think they can hear me?
I'm thinking it can. I'm trying. Well, Mike is acting like they can.
Mic check, mic check. Is it blinking?
It is blinking. I don't know. Oh. I don't know. Take off.
Oh.
Hello? Oh, I don't think they could hear us.
So we've been live for 30 minutes.
Let me see. Try it again.
Yep, well, that's muted now. But this is late.
Can you afford it? No.
Can I afford what?
That. I mean, so it's not so far behind. Because I mean, I think the microphone thing is doing something so the others can hear.
Yeah, obviously. Anyway, sorry guys, we was trying to figure this out again. You want to start, or you want me to start?
No, I'm trying to figure out. Should I try to? I'm scared to stop it and then try to go live on the other page too. I just don't know how that's going to work.
Oh, it actually have caption on it. This is neat.
Stop it and try to go live on the other page too. I just don't know how that's going to work.
Oh, it actually have caption on it. This is neat.
Babe, what you think? I thought it all had caption on it. Okay, anyway, I guess we can go.
Well, let's go then. We go.
Don't worry, I've seen actual bloggers do this before. Like they'll sit there and they'll be like, they'll turn on their live, and then they're like messing with their phones and all that stuff to get whatever. So anyway, all right, okay. You can start. Where have we been? Where have we been at?
We've been on Mars and Venus. That's what we found out.
Theoretically.
Yes.
Not for real.
Yeah, well, being married to her, it feels like I'm on Mars. I feel like I'm on Jupiter. Anyway, so yeah, I guess we're starting back up. We're going to be more consistent and better prepared this time. I know that sounds funny because we wasn't really prepared today, but we're back.
Had a good excuse.
Yeah, that was a good excuse. We were both in school. She had a lot of schoolwork, things like that. I guess we'll start. We're going to try to do this one a little bit different. It's still going to be about love topics, relationship topics, and things of such. Um, we're gonna sprinkle some other things in. We have the Diddy trial coming up. We're gonna see can, for the people that don't know, my beautiful, lovely wife is an attorney. So she's gonna give her legal expertise side of what she thinks of things like that. I'm gonna be doing fishing videos because I got into bass fishing.
Well, you gotta explain the format. It's not always on the live though.
Yeah,
we're gonna.
Well, that's why I told you to start so I could jump in.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you got it.
Anyway, so yeah, that's part of some of the things we're gonna do. I got into bass fishing a couple of years ago. We recently moved, bought a house. That's part of the reason. We had stopped doing it because we just had so much going on. But as far as my personal contribution, it's going to be bass fishing. Like I said, we moved, so I'm actually going from a lake that we were at to a river, which I'm finding out maybe a little bit different type of thing. So we're going to bring different type of content. But the basis is,
Go ahead.
Well, the basis of the content is still trying to. I still believe the same thing. It's therapeutic for us. And then again, we only help one person, 30 people, 100,000 people better their views on relationships and how we think or how it could potentially make their relationships better, then hey, we did our job. Again, here for the fun of it. I'm here because I love my wife. Like talking to her sometimes, more times than not, actually. I think she feels the same. So I'll let her explain the format. I just ramble.
Okay, we can say format, but you said that we were away because of Venus and Mars. I think you need to explain that a little bit more.
Yeah, we separated. She moved to Venus. I moved to Mars. So we was talking to our counselor, and it was, I guess they had read a book a while ago about men are from Venus and women are from Mars, or vice versa.
I don't think that's the name of it.
It was something like that. But anyway, yeah, that's what they say. So
I gotta look it up because you confuse me.
Anyway,
yeah, men are from Mars, women are from
yeah,
Venus.
I knew it was something like that. But and we're gonna tell you guys about some of the things that we have been through, and how we actually got through them, and just how much work it is to put into it if you want a successful marriage. The Venus and Mars things is basically that men and women think totally different. Totally different. We see things from different lenses. And I'll say that that's okay as long as you have two people that's working in the common goal of trying to be or I ain't gonna say trying. As long as you have two people that's working in the goal of being together forever, it can work. It will work. But you just have to understand that we see things different, men and women, period. And I think a little bit of that is having to understand yourself and as a man, learn yourself as a man, and potentially as women, you have to learn yourself and figure out how to make it work. It can work. It really can. So we'll tell you guys some of the stuff that we've done to better our marriage, friendship, relationship, and all that good stuff.
So specifically, because Jermaine wasn't, he's very just general. It's very general. Wow, he throws it out there like.
That's why.
Where have you been? We've been from Mars, we're from Venus. But specifically, I think our last show that we did was quite a while ago, and we'd gotten away from that more so because there was a lot of change in Jermaine's schedule. As far as work is concerned, there were a lot of things that were going on in our lives that were bringing additional that kind of brought like a lot of additional stressors into it. And for me, it was getting a little bit hard to manage making sure that we were doing the shows, the lives, and having content for the lives. Particularly, I didn't really, I'm one of the people that men are from Rock Hill. Yeah, that's true. I'm one of the people that when I set out to do something, when I say I'm going to do something, I like to be consistent with it. I like to be prepared for it. I really don't like it, not being prepared, not being consistent. And it was harder, and it was extra for me because I don't know if this is new to Jermaine, and so and when it comes to things like that, he didn't have as much discipline as making sure, like, it was like, if I didn't do it, then it probably wasn't going to get done, to be honest. I mean, to be truthful, that's just the truth of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we had the move. We had for a while Jermaine had custody of his daughter. We had changing in work schedules. I decided to go back to school. Jermaine decided to go back to school. So we just had all this stuff going on that kind of, I got to a point where it's like, okay, I guess we're just not going to do it until we can get to a point in our lives where we have the time to kind of dedicate to it and make sure that we're actually doing it consistently and doing it at a level that is, I don't know, pleasing to both of us and pleasing to God, because this may be part of our ministry. I don't know, but so we had to make sure that we were able to do that. And in addition, I think there were some, because of everything that was going on, especially when he talks about the men are from Mars and women are from Venus, we found out that we had a lot of things as far as communication wise that we were dealing with, trying to overcome those communicative barriers, and working with ourselves individually as far as growth for ourselves, implementing new I don't want to know, self-care routines and ways in which we can reflect and engage in self-thought for ourselves, and then meeting with our counselor and everything, just so that we're at a place where we are able to communicate a lot better than we were before, which happens with people, especially people from different backgrounds and everything else. You just have to kind of be intentional about how you communicate with each other. So that's
because I'm from the hood.
So that's what we've been working on. As far as content, one of Jermaine's concerns was that we started off calling this Unfiltered Married Life for a reason, because we thought that it would be beneficial to people, to other couples as well as married people, to be able to have a glimpse into what married life is, just for us, and maybe that would provide them some insight, because our situations, one is unique. Both of us were previously married. We both have kids that we had before we were married.
Yeah, but she just got hers by the same people. That's the great benefit. Yeah. That's the reason I married her, because she'd had more than one baby daddy. Wouldn't have been there, buddy.
Yeah, so it's been this blended family and second time around type thing that some people deal with, but not everyone deal with. So we've had kind of like unique situations.
And for me, again, for me it was totally different. I think I hit on this when we first started this, but I came from a situation where I didn't really understand marriage. I'll put it like that. I didn't understand relationships. I thought I did, and I didn't. I understood potentially what you had to do to make someone happy. It was getting to the steps and getting out of, as I say, with me in school, getting out of my own way to be able to get her to the extra level of satisfaction. And I'm talking about as far as satisfaction, as far as just keeping my marriage and keeping my wife happy. Because what I will tell you guys, for the things that I went through personally, as far as my job situation, everybody know I drive truck and things like that, and have my own company. But trying to change careers and go in a different way, it kind of got to me because I was working and I wasn't working, and I was worried about the typical thing that I understand what providing is, but just the money aspect. As we as men, we have these egos, and we think that we have to have XYZ amount of money or this, whatever it is. So I went through that personally too. So it was just those type of things that we just had to get through. And I mean, we got through it. And sometimes it still bothers me, if I don't make X, Y, Z because I'm used to making whatever. But what I learned through all of this is my wife got me. And when I say she has me, I'm not talking about from a financial standpoint. I'm talking about my wife has me in all aspects of life, and vice versa. So it was something that I had to come to grips with and understand because I mean, I was always, I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. That type of thing. So, I thought that I was able, I told her this, I thought that I was just, I had this vision of what I wanted to do and how I wanted this to turn out. And when it went the opposite way, I kind of felt as though that I wasn't as much man as I should have been or could have been, whatever it was, right? So, it was just things I had to get through as well. So,
So that's where we've been.
yeah. And we did have to go back to Iowa for like 9 to 10 months, 11 months, something like that.
Yeah, we did some shows from Iowa.
We did?
Yeah.
You
He
sure?
just, yeah, he just,
Yeah, I was on Mars then.
yeah, we did some shows
So.
from Iowa. So yeah.
But yeah, this is I think it's gonna be very, very entertaining. Uh I'm kind of actually excited. I don't know, was it my idea or your idea, Startup? Well, you've been wanting to do it, but I was more, I could say I was more interested in doing it this time around than the first time. So
Yeah, and like I said, there have been people. For one, our counselor kept saying, "Hey, when are you doing your podcast? When are you going back to your podcast?" Because there's a lot of people that need to hear it. So it was my counselor, and then there were other people that just would kind of ask, like, "Hey, are you guys gonna go back to doing your thing again?" It's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get back to it. We're gonna get back to it. We're gonna get back to it. And so I just feel like that, like Jermaine said, it's important, and even if it's just a few people that it touches or whatever, it's important. But plus, it also is, again, like we reiterated before, therapeutic for us too.
yeah, I just told our counselor that today. It's like at the end of the day, when and that's the other thing. We're gonna have probably one of those sessions as well on live, uh, one of our counseling sessions because I think it's imperative that people, especially Black people, understand that therapy is and counseling is not always just when something is going wrong. And to that point of what I was going to allude to is it's therapeutic because like with the counselor sometimes it's just like talking to a third party, just a regular friend, and we talk to each other every day, but then you're talking to somebody else and maybe I missed something or she missed something, and oh, okay, da da da, just the general conversations. Like today we was talking about our dogs, like our counselor got another dog, and this, that, and the third. So every session in counseling is not something's wrong and how do you fix this and how do you fix that. They do give those tools, but it's just the third. It's just the third outlet, and I think that that'll be good to share as well. So yeah,
Definitely will be. And the other thing, like Jermaine mentioned, we moved into we bought a house
we
in the country, way
bears
in the country, to the point
deep
of we
in the
have
country
septic tanks and stuff, in
and
the
chickens in
country,
the backyard.
chicken in backyards, and
Farm animals, dog. Our neighbors got donkeys and goats.
yeah,
Yeah,
cows are
so
down the street from us and stuff. What was the goats are too? Yeah, the
yeah,
goats
we
are
got
donkeys
goats.
and stuff like that. So anyway, so we went out to the country. We bought a house. It wasn't a house that we had built. So of course, with that, there comes different things that you have to deal with. And so it's like, okay, well, we got the house. It's huge. It's huge, but it still feels small
Yeah,
to me
it still
for some
feels small
reason.
too because we got a big family.
Yeah, so still feels small. So then we're planning, and this is actually kind of fun though. So we're sitting here, we're planning, like, or we need to continue to plan and actually write it down, but kind of thinking about, okay, well, these are the things that these are the renovations we want to do first, and this is what we want to do. These are the most important ones, and so it's just been kind of definitely amusing to look at all the different things that we want to get done and say, okay, we're going to do this, we're
It's
going to do
definitely
that, we're going to do
expensive
that.
too.
it is very expensive. But like I said, it's exciting though.
And so let me show y'all how our day go. Like just with her saying that, my response to her on an average day, and when I say that, just this is how we communicate in general. Like when I say she's my best friend, it's like that. So my response to that is, it's literally fun. It's like I've been married before, she's been married before, but for me doing this and being involved and having ideals and stuff, it's like it's new because it wasn't that before. It was like whatever it is. So this process when it gets frustrating, but it's fun. Even I got to the point in our marriage, like and I told the counselor this as well. Our arguments and or disagreements or whatever it is, it's fun. It has become fun now just to figure out. Okay, she's mad at me. What can I do better so this won't happen? Or it becomes like I don't want to say a game, but like it just becomes fun figuring it out. Because I mean, we're in it for life. So everything that we're going through now, it's fun. We just was talking the other day. It seems like forever, but now it's going on 5 years that we've known each other,
Yeah.
3.5, 4 years since we've been married, and it seemed like the 5 year mark was like 2, 3 years ago.
Mhm.
So when I was like, dang, we've been together so okay, yeah, all right. So now it's becoming even more of a reality sort of time. Like the time, it seems like it's to me anyway. It seems like it's time now.
Yeah.
Before it just seemed like, dang, we only been together 2 years.
Right. Yeah.
It seemed like we have been together 5 or 6 years, but hey, but it's fun, man. Like people just have to. When we went on our first cruise, we seen a couple that had been together for 12 years, and they're like, "Oh, it's been a hard, long 12 years." I'm like, "Yeah, we don't. I don't think when we got away from it, like I don't think we want to be 12 years in talking about how hard it is. Like that's not. I don't know, But what I will say, I still say marriage is not hard. It's just work. It's work. Dedication and something's around that is beat into my head is being intentional. And that word intentional, it goes a long way because if you're intentional, not just in your relationship, but with anything you do, uh, it's gonna sound kind of contradictory, baby, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If you're intentional with anything, I do believe this is just me being intentional about doing certain things.
Mhm.
But if you're intentional in anything you do, it just gets you further. Intentional on loving your partner, intentional on getting up, making sure you don't miss days from work or doing stuff around the house, getting your kids this or that. Just being intentional about anything makes it better, in my opinion. And sometimes you're gonna slack, but just sort of like being a child of God. God don't expect you to be perfect. Fall off the horse, get up and try again.
Yep. Consistency.
Consistency. Yep. So.
Yeah, so that's important.
And I've thanked you 1,000 times. So I guess if I can't thank you in front of the world, then it doesn't mean anything because we don't really have friends. So, and I mean this. I wasn't planning on doing this. It just hit me up. See what I'm talking about? It just hit my heart because I love my wife. I want to thank you for your patience with me, because Lord knows she's been patient, very patient. There's been times that I wanted to get rid of me. So I just thank you for your patience and your love. I just appreciate you. So I think I should tell you that in front of everybody.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you too.
And I actually love you now. I went from not liking you to loving you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Is it?
Yeah, I guess. I think so.
Yeah. But I'm definitely excited, y'all. We're gonna come on. We're gonna come hard this time, though.
Yeah, definitely. I think I was trying to debate whether or not we should tell a funny story about when we first moved here. I guess we can. Yeah.
You talking about the people?
Yeah.
Ooh, you talking about the cops?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that was one.
Yeah.
You want to go? You want me to do? You do.
You got to tell him. Oh, he can tell
Right.
from his part. I'll tell from my part because I'm sitting in the office working. I'm like literally working. I'm on the phone negotiating a contract or something, and
I had just walked out the office, and
And I'm looking outside. So we're in two different rooms now. I'm in the office looking out the window and seeing like all of these cars, like SUVs, like just pull up in the yard.
No.
And they did what they to me. So they did it so confidently, right? So it's like car after car after car after car. They just pull up and they just got the car and started walking to the door, and they had vests on. So I'm thinking like, so these people were letting people hunt on the property, and I'm like, oh, I'm about to go out there and tell them that they can't hunt on the property. Okay, so then now in the other room, Jermaine.
I was walking out the office, so I seen one car. The first car that pulled up, it was literally probably about 12 or 13 cars. When the first car pulled up in the driveway, we have a very long driveway, right? So when the first car pulled up in the driveway, he cut across the grass, and I'm like looking out the front door, and I'm the man of the house, so I'm about to walk out there and be like, nigga, don't you do that. I mean, I'm sorry. Don't you get in my yard, yeah. And then another car pull up behind him. And then another car pull up. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I don't think I want to go outside yet. And like they just kept pulling up. And I eventually stepped outside, and it ended up being Sled. Now, we wasn't in the house a good week. Was it a week?
I don't think so.
It wasn't in the house a good week, and it ended up being Sled. And they started asking me my name. And that's a good topic too. But yeah, that's for a whole other day. They started asking me my name. And like, I would never like cops like everybody else. And they were very nice. And that's the crazy part. And I was being an a-hole. But they just kept asking me my name. I told them my name. Then they asked for the individual, and I was like, yeah, no, they don't live here. We just bought the house. Then they started asking me when and can they come in? I was like, no, you cannot come in. And then by that time, I guess Zorana heard me talking to him or seen him or something, and she came from out the office and basically telling me to shut up, basically, and stop acting a fool. Which she was right. I shouldn't have been acting like that. Like, people was trying to do their job. They were looking for somebody. Again, that's a whole other subject. But man, when I tell you, they had like 10 cars in our yard. They went to the back of the house, and the neighbors are really they're not real close neighbors. They're like a little distance. They had cars in their yard. I was like, man, what the heck? And South Carolina got that relaxed gun law where you don't need a permit or whatever to carry it. I was like, I'm glad I ain't have my gun on me. They'd have shot the heck out of me that day.
Right. So, and it was something we still don't know what exactly why they were looking for the people. They started asking us questions and do they call them their husband? I'm just like, what in the world?
Man, and then because I had told her, like, when we came to look at the house, I was like, man, we in the country. Why this dude got cameras all on the corner of the house? Like, I was like, who you worried about? Like, who you worried about in the country? So when Sled pulled up, like I said, 12, 13 deep, and I was like, well, that's Sled. She was like, who the heck is Sled? So
yeah.
It was very and then the kids didn't even know what was going on.
Right.
They come out like, oh, what's going on? Like after they leave.
So that was funny. So that was definitely one of the times.
Yeah, another one we had we was moving in the house, and we had moved in. We had the trailer for. Oh, we ain't got the furniture.
Yeah.
We ain't got the furniture. Make a long story short, I had left the door open, and I had the U-Haul trailer. I had to take the U-Haul trailer back. I left the dang on door open in the car because she didn't even come put a leg on the chair or whatever. Stayed in the house about 10 minutes, put the leg on, and went to get in the car, and I heard something rambling. And I'm like, what the? I started calling my son. I'm like, hey, man, y'all come out here, put something in the car. It was like running around the car or whatever, and it ended up being a cat. It was like, man, listen. So that was our welcome to the country, the country type thing.
Yeah. And then if we can't forget that we have Nana, the big Newfie dog, and I left her outside, thinking she'd be okay outside. I go back outside. I'm looking for her. She's chasing the chicken.
Our neighbor's chickens. Yeah, that's.
And the chicken is trying to get away from her. The chicken can't fly.
Don't do it. Don't do
I can't. I'm not gonna do what the chicken was doing. But it was funny. What the chicken was doing was funny. The chicken was trying to get away. from that.
And y'all see how she tried to reenact what the chicken was doing. That'd be funny. But so yeah, we like I said, we back, man. We we still getting stuff together in the house because it seemed like you never not finish moving.
Yeah, you never.
We went from a big house to a bigger house. But yeah, that's where we've been at, and that's what we've been doing. Next week we'll have some good content, and again, that all of that's the same. If anybody want to ask us questions, no, we're not licensed therapists, no, we're not licensed doctors or anything like that. What we are licensed that is love, and that's our love. So.
So corny.
No, we are licensed. We have
that was so corny.
That was not. It's the truth. We have a marriage certificate. That is a license for our love.
That is so corny.
That is so true.
Don't y'all think that's corny?
That is so true.
Okay, it's true. But it was so corny.
You know what?
You license and love. I like it though, babe. I like when you corny.
Anyway, so we can tell y'all what worked for us, and hopefully some things may work for y'all.
Yeah. So.
Tell me, I quit.
So what we're gonna do to try this new format is on Tuesdays we'll do live, and most our live sessions will be about the marriage and the relationship type things. But we'll also post videos, pre-recorded videos on the YouTube channel, talking about various things. So like Jermaine talked about his fishing. He wants to do a series on fishing, so he'll have that, and then we'll also
y'all can laugh at me.
Talk about it because he doesn't catch anything, but you know.
Well, first of all, on the lake, I was catching something. This river fishing is a little bit different. I tried to do it today. I understand it's going to be it's going to be about a month before I start posting fishing videos. For the simple fact of the matter is, trying to fish this morning and it's a lot of trees in the river. A lot of trees, baby. A lot of trees in the river, so I'm gonna have to be on my boat. So I gotta get my boat together. What you mean, get what I needed to get?
Fish.
Man, I didn't have time. First of all, I had to come back and talk to the electrician.
Yeah. Okay.
And I have to learn the fisheries.
The fisheries.
I haven't fished in Catawba River since I was knee high to a grasshopper. It's a country saying.
But baby, then you were fishing with sticks. You told me with a stick, and just put the stick in there and pulling up fish.
Well, that's okay because when Jesus fed all them people with the fish, you was there. You fixed their plate. Play with me.
Whatever. But so we'll do that, and we'll also cover things like, for some reason, Jermaine and my son, they keep saying you should do stuff on criminal trials and blah, blah, blah.
Listen. Hold on. This is what I'm talking about right here. Her nephew called because he's going through whatever he's going through, job wise with Donald Trump in the office, Trump trying to get rid of him, whatever it is, right? Last night, this dude said, I can talk to so many lawyers up here, attorneys up here, this, that, and the third. He was on the phone, and for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it is, he was on his phone with his aunt for 30 minutes. And she was like, well, maybe, whatever the law is, it can fall under that. And then he looked it up. He's like, you know what? Yeah, that may work. Mm-hmm. Now, I've been talking to these people for 2 weeks, and none of these attorneys said that. The woman knows what she's talking about. And that's why we say that, because she knows what the heck she's talking about. She's only licensed in Iowa, of course, but she figures it out. Even my court case with my daughter, like, she's so highly intelligent when it comes to her craft of being an attorney is ridiculous. So why not share it with people? That's why we keep telling her to do it. And that's what, eventually she's going to be back in the courtroom, and that's what she wants to do. So why not practice on here? Because all you're going to do is what you always do.
Yeah. You
know what? I knew that. I should be in the courtroom. And this Diddy thing that I want her to cover, the stuff that she said, she made me understand some stuff. I'll tell y'all, I'm going to give y'all a little brief preview of what I think. I think Diddy getting off.
Oh, Lord.
I'm telling you. Because he a freak. That's what he is. He's a freak. There's nothing wrong with being free. It's not illegal.
It's not illegal.
I'll leave it at that.
And so far, that's the only thing they charge him with, right? He's only been indicted with
being a freak. 1,000 bottles of freaky baby oil. I nigga just had. I'm sorry. I gotta stop saying that word. He just had a lot of ashy skin, and the people that came to his parties
Were ashy?
they had dry skin, and he was trying to help them out.
Help
He
them
had parties all the time. So how many? All the parties he had, how many bottles of oil you think he didn't want to keep running to the store? So he just stocked up on it.
Right.
That's what it was.
So anyway, they want me to talk about stuff like that. So we will cover in those pre-recorded videos infamous trials, or maybe just any trials, just legal trials and stuff like that, and legal stuff. And then
and you know, for anybody that's watching that's actually on my page, let me explain something, y'all. When I say something about Trump,
oh Lord, I was just about to say that we probably won't do political.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do too much political stuff because I ain't trying to get people too riled up or anything. But when I say things about Trump, it's not that I'm a Trump supporter. What bothers me is the misinformation that's out there, and we as people, the first thing we see on the internet, we research, we reshare it, and all of that, and it's not even, it doesn't even be true. And I'm not gonna get into a whole lot of stuff. I ain't gonna get into nothing, but that's what I mean when I be talking about Trump. I'm not into politics at all because I don't believe in politicians. I don't believe our government really has our best interests at heart. So, but for people to sit there and say that Trump, this, that, and the third, he's racist. Well, people at your job racist, but you take your butt to work every day. I guarantee you that. So that's all I want to say about that.
No, and I think the only other thing to really cover that is that people, like you said, just do your research. Like the things that are happening in the political environment in the world, period. There's a lot of stuff that's happening that most of us wouldn't just naturally know how to comprehend it or understand it because of the legalities involved with it, just the whole political scheme it can be complex. It's very complex. The things that's happened in federal government, the things that happen in the judicial system, all those things are very complex systems that most people wouldn't just from reading little short articles or reading one thing would necessarily comprehend. And there's nothing wrong with that. What is important though is to do more in-depth research and maybe look for articles and analysts and research papers that are written by people who have experience in those realms and who have experience in interpreting laws and interpreting regulations and even interpreting executive orders and interpreting how those things interact, as opposed to just making assumptions on things and misunderstanding stuff. Because I think we can be scared of whoever's in office, but the scariest thing to me is a misinformed person and a person who doesn't understand things before they act. So that's what's scary, right? We always talk about when we talk about racism. Racism is seeped in ignorance, and ignorance is because of what? Misunderstanding, not knowing any better. And so that to me that's the scariest thing is anyone who is misinformed and doesn't understand something, and they're acting out of that misunderstanding and lack of understanding, which is the same thing. Is no different than what I say about voting. To me, a miseducated or a vote that's done and the person isn't really aware of what they're voting for, to me is more dangerous than a non-vote. But that's just my opinion. So anyway, with the political sphere, that's all I would say. That just do your research. Do your research, and all you can do is pray and ask God for protection and whatever is going on. So.
Yep. And I don't know what else you want to say.
All right, well then, so we will be back next Tuesday. The dates that we will upload recordings, we haven't firmed up yet. We just know that we will. So I wouldn't expect any necessarily this week. If we do upload some this week, we will share them on our page and let everyone know. But definitely by next week, by our next live, we will have dates of when we will actually have videos uploaded. And feel free to watch those videos and come to our live sessions with questions about them if you want. So just because we're talking about one thing on the live doesn't mean that you can't bring a question with regards to the video that you saw.
And as well, I would say this: if anybody want to make suggestions of on topics or something that you may be going through and you want to be anonymous and have us talk about it and how we would potentially handle it or what we think and give our opinion on it, inbox one of us and we're more than welcome to do that too, I guess.
Yeah,
I would love that. That actually helped me out because it's easy to figure out other people's problems.
And one other thing I want to say, we do plan or want to have guests. So we did ask our counselor. She didn't seem like she would be opposed to doing it. So hopefully we can get her on the show one day. I like it to be a day where we have people have questions that they want to ask her, and she maybe can answer those questions on the live. So we will have that. I definitely want to have Jonathan on here because he helped me, JB, helped me with my mindfulness. He's one of the first people that even told me about mindfulness practice, and it has definitely helped a lot, even in our marriage and just for me as far as personal growth. So I definitely want to have him on there. Would love to have our pastors on here. So definitely looking forward to having guests.
And I'll say this too. I think when I'll say that for a topic. I'll say that for a topic show. Just because I was gonna say something about the mindfulness.
Oh.
I haven't personally got into it as much as she has. But I can remember when she first started, and I'm not talking about since you've been here, like when JB brought it up and then did it one time before. I was, again, different backgrounds, everything. I was like, yeah, that's kind of weird. But and I was looking at it strange, but when I step out of my body and she's doing it now and things like that, first of all, if that's what helps her get into a better space, then I'm all for it. It's not what I believe in, or it's not if I believe in it, or what I think about it. It's, again, what I said earlier about supporting and loving your partner and whatever it is to make, whatever they do to make your relationship easier, or how you make it easier, make your relationship easier. And that actually has helped. Her doing that has helped her communicate and be more patient with me, respond to me differently, and everything else. I'm saying that because some people I believe, and if I'm wrong, then you guys forgive me. I don't want to speak for all of the Black hood community, but if people, if I don't think we as people that's on I don't know how you would say that. I don't think we as people that hasn't grown up, that have grown up in the hood, understand the importance of things like that. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
It's sort of like an atheist. When you tell them maybe they should pray and they don't believe in prayer, well, you never tried it and never done it, and how do you expect to see results? So it definitely has helped. I can guarantee you that. I can promise you that. And that's why I told you. I think I told you that one time before. Like, the way you respond differently and the way you just act different now. You practicing joy too.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing, helping. So it's considerably. That helped considerably. So, but
all right.
I'll drop the mic.
Well, I have homework. I have to still finish, and today's the day he cooks, so he's cooking.
Oh no, I ain't cooking. I didn't cook.
No, you're making chicken. Philly chicken, cheese. You can't call them steaks. What do they call them? Philly chicken? Philly chicken sandwiches? Philly chicken cheese? No, Philly cheese chicken. That's what he's making. Philly cheese chicken. It can't be cheese steak. It's gotta be Philly cheese chicken.
I'm putting some meat on the bread.
He's making Philly cheese chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. Like
cheese chicken.
I really ain't never really tried to do no cooking. I'm 40. I'm about to be 48 next week, and I really don't. I mean, I could cook well enough for myself, but she, loving my wife, I had to learn how to start trying to cook. So
He's doing a good job.
I attempt that every once in a while. You know, occasionally I'll top will fall off of something and it'll be too salty.
But otherwise, the ancestors do speak to him with regards to seasoning. He's good at seasoning. They tell him when to stop.
My ancestors were slaves. The niggas don't. I mean, I gotta stop saying that. They didn't. I'm getting off this thing. Bye.
Let's go Giants. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. We go somewhere and find another team. So, because we suck. I hope we get a quarterback.
Well, I can't say anything. Still, we didn't make it either. So.
Yeah, y'all made the playoffs.
We shouldn't have. We should have just set that out and just got ourselves together.
You did better.
Anyway, on to homework. I have who knows how many more pages to write, but
Yeah, we won't be late. You don't be late. So save the day.
yeah. All right. Bye.
That was funny. I don't know what the heck you talking about. I don't be late. You don't be late. So save the day.